All right, my name is Nikki. I am a paramedic. For those of you who don't know me, I've been a paramedic for about 8 years, since 2010. And the reason why I'm here is because in this occupation, you start to see hurting people, burdened people, people that are dealing with a lot of disease processes, a lot of aches, a lot of pains, and heartache too, and a lot of mental barriers. And there's so much of it that is preventable. And so my heart, I want to help people with preventative maintenance. I want to help people before they get to that point of disease and diabetes or high blood pressure. And so a lot of people have the tools, just the mindset is what's missing there. And I want to help people break through those. But also, tools are good. That's what we're talking about today, are tools. And so today we will be talking about macronutrients. We're going to simplify it. I know it sounds like a big, scary word, but I promise it's not bad. And I'm going to teach you some things that make it super simple. All right, let's do this. So I'm sure, as you know, there's the three main types of macronutrients, which are your carbs, your proteins, and your fats. So macronutrients, first of all, we'll just break the word down together. Macro just simply means that your body needs it in a large amount, and nutrients is all the wonderful, healthy, good stuff that our bodies need to run at an optimum level. So carbs. This is the big scary word that everybody's afraid of. Carbs, carbohydrates, oh, sugar, no, we don't want to eat that, oh no. But the thing is our body needs it. Our body needs 45 to 65% of our daily intake should be carbs. So I'm not going to name a particular diet. I'll just say, so diets that are extreme low carb, maybe high protein, probably high protein, they might be high fats, but the extreme low carb diets, they have such a good success rate because in order for our bodies to actually store 1 gram of carbs, just cluing you on a little secret here. So for our body to store 1 gram of carbs, it has to also retain 2.7 grams of water. So you get that sudden, if you've ever done a really low carb diet, I have, it works really well, you get really fast results. You are losing water weight. It is not necessarily fat, so it's a big fat illusion. Is what it is you're losing all that initial weight, which is water. So there was a study that was done that tracked people with low carb diets over a span of, I think it was maybe 7 or 9 years, and the people with the very low extreme carb diets, they did great in that first year compared to the people on these other diets. And it looks promising, right? But the thing is they gained all of that weight back afterwards, and then some in particular cases. So point being is it's not sustainable, and that's what I want to help people get through this mindset of just be patient is the big thing. Balance your macronutrients out and be patient. So each gram of carbs yields 4 calories. And there's 2 main types of carbohydrates, and it's broken down into your simple carbohydrates and your complex. Hope you can see that. You can see that, right? Yeah. So Your simple carbohydrates are simple. They are short chains of sugar found in fruits, found in sweets, snacks, white breads, that are easily broken down. Your body can break them down and it turns into energy instantly. So you'll end up getting this spike in your bloodstream and then the crash afterwards. So if you've ever, eaten your entire bag of Halloween candy, you've experienced the highs and then the lows of your sugar. Next, we have our complex carbs. So there are 3 main categories of our complex carbs, and by the way, you guessed it, complex means that it is a complex sugar molecule. It's harder for our body to break down, and you get a more sustained level of energy because it's harder for our bodies to break the chains of sugar down. So you end up with a nice sugar. This is indicating the sugar rise in your body. Sugar. Or your blood sugar levels. So with your complex, okay, so starches are found in your potatoes, your whole grains, your oats, stuff like that. Harder for our bodies to break down, and it gives us that nice, longer, sustained amount of energy here. Then we have glycogen, and that is the excess sugar that is stored in our liver. It converts the glucose into glycogen in our liver. So fiber is another complex carb. It's the indigestible portion of plants and fruits that we eat, and we never get enough of, because we're supposed to be having 3 to 5 servings of greens a day, and I mean, let's be honest, who's getting that? Not very many of us. So when you digest fiber, when you eat fiber, it's the complex carb that it is. It's hard for it slows your digestion down, and so it keeps you full longer because your stomach is having to work on it more. And so as it releases into your small intestine, it will actually, if you eat it with any fats, it will bind with the bile that is meant to break down the fats that you consume. It will actually bind with the bile, so it can't break down the fats to get into your system. So essentially that's why it's heart healthy, is because it's keeping those fats from getting into your vessels, from it getting into your body and getting digested. And so then it works its way down, and it creates bulk, and it helps you poop, and it gets down into your large intestine, and it ferments. It helps to create that healthy flora and a healthy gut. With that being said, I mean, can't you see how important it actually is to consume carbohydrates? This is our body's favorite, it's our body's favorite source of energy: glucose, oxygen, and water. And it's just about our moderation. Anyways, okay, so moving on, let's move to proteins. Our daily recommended percentage of your calories in a day is 10 to 35%. Again, depending on what your goals might be. If you're doing more bodybuilding type stuff, your body's gonna have to be building a lot more muscle than, say, somebody that's doing long distance marathon running. So you also, with proteins, you get 4 calories of energy per gram consumed. All it is an amino acid plus a carb. So what happens when our body goes and breaks that protein down? It turns into amino acids, which it puts into an amino acid pool and uses to regenerate our muscles, in our hair, our teeth, everything. So, and then carbs. So if we eat too many proteins, we're gonna have a lot of excess carbs, and if we don't burn those carbs, it's gonna turn into fat, stored fat. There are two main categories when referring to the type of food you're eating on whether it is a complete protein. All that means is that it has all the essential amino acids that you need. There's 8 to 10 essential amino acids that our body has to get from outside sources. And so any foods that have all of those amino acids, those are called complete proteins. Foods that don't have all those essential amino acids that we need from dietary foods, dietary consumption, are called, you guessed it, non-essential. So your complete proteins would be any animal meats, and not to worry, if you don't eat animal meats, it is found in, there's a couple of plant-based foods, like quinoa is a really good source that has all of your essential amino acids, and also there's soy, there's a few others that are out there. So you can actually match your non-essential type foods, your non-essential protein foods, you can match them together. So a lot of common foods that we already eat, like rice and beans, those two together combined actually have our essential amino acids. So proteins are, I'm sure that you've heard, are the building blocks of our cells. So it's good for our hair, our immune system, it builds our muscles, it builds our nerve tissue, it's amazing. So absolutely essential for us. All right, next we're going to be talking about fats. So recommended fat intake based on percentage for your daily caloric consumption is 20 to 35% of your daily intake. Fats are very nutrient dense and they yield 9 calories per gram consumed. Okay, there are 3 main types of fats. There's the 3 different types of fats: your unsaturated, your saturated, and then your trans fats. Your unsaturated are going to typically be liquid at room temperature. You can find it in avocados, fish, olive oil, and those are heart healthy. They actually will increase your HDL, so it makes your good cholesterol higher, and then it will decrease your LDL and decrease your bad cholesterol. Your saturated fats are not, they're discovering that saturated fats, which are fats that are typically found in animal meats and stuff like that, they're finding out that it's not quite as bad for you as you thought, but you should try to still have more of a greens-based diet and not as much animal fat. So your saturated fats found in animals or solid at room temperature is a way to remember it. Your trans fats, don't eat them. Stay away from them as much as possible. Trans fats are found in your processed foods and very, very bad for you. They're also, so look on the back of nutrition labels and you'll see that they're also named, so legally, they're so bad that legally they have to actually put them on nutrition labels if there's more than 0.5 grams of trans fats in their products that they're selling per serving. So, also known, so watch for that, also partially hydrogenated oils. They were trying to make the shelf life longer of their foods and of the oils, and so they ended up altering it and putting more hydrogen atoms in there, and it basically, simply put, trans fats just stick to the lining of your vessels. Bad stuff. Don't do it. And it's still found in processed foods, so that's another good way to just completely avoid it. Any packaged, man-made foods, avoid them as much as possible. Even though everybody steers away from the word fat and it sounds bad and nobody wants to be fat, we don't want to have fat, it's necessary for life. And fats are amazing in the way that they actually provide cell structure for each and every one of our cells. We have to have it. And also, we need padding. We have to have padding on us that is essential for life It's good for our hair, and it is good for our brains. It makes sure that we are firing in all cylinders, and it's just necessary for life. We've got to appreciate it. So that being said, we have now covered all of the macronutrients in a hopefully simplified version. So the big takeaway from all of this is that we all agonize over what percentage of what do I need to eat, and oh man, I don't want to have too many carbs, or oh, if I eat too many fats, I'm gonna get fat, or whatever. The biggest thing is there's two big things: your quantity and your quality. Look at it from a daily perspective. Don't eat more calories than you burn in a day. That's it. That is it. And second of all, we want to feel healthy. We want to be healthy. So pay attention to the quality of your foods. Make sure that they're nutrient dense. The more that you can actually eat foods that come from the ground or from trees, the better. You know, all the prepackaged, meat with all the sodium, and it's lacking all the good stuff that we really need to be at optimal levels. So with that, I hope that helped clear up some of that in your mind. I look forward to seeing you around, getting to know you. I love you guys, and I want to help. I'm here to serve you. I'm honored that you're here, that you actually stuck through this and watched the whole thing. And I hope that you subscribe. I hope you sign up for my emails, and I hope you hang out. I hope that I can help you learn anything or be a motivation. I do a lot of stuff on motivation and behavior because that is where my real passion is. It's all about your mindset. You can have all this knowledge out here, but if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to follow through with it. If you don't make some habit changes, you're not going to follow through with it. So I can give you tools, I can help guide you, but ultimately it's what is happening in here with you. So if you ever have any questions, or if you want me to answer a particular thing, drop me a line. My contact number, email, easy, is my contact email is contact@nikkipool.com. All right, you have an awesome day today. Wow, that was super nerdy. You have an awesome day today. I hope you have an awesome day, and I can't wait to see you around.